Look at me and tell me what you see. I look at you and tell you what I feel. Look at me and tell me what you see. I look at you and tell you.
What's up, everybody? Emperor John Kill 3D Gaming here with another video, and this is a weird title for me to cover. Overwatch, or Overwatch 2, or Overwatch 1.5. I mean, I really don't know. I'm not a big fan of, I'm not a fanboy of Overwatch. I enjoyed Overwatch, the first one. When it first released, I enjoyed it for what it was. This is a game for anyone who's casual to shooters. You could just jump in and, have a good time with or without your friends. Overwatch does have a unique vibe to it. The characters are interesting. The world is interesting. And it was one of the early generation from PS4, 360, not 360, PS4, Xbox One, PC, of the arena shooters, which was really cool. And at the time, I wasn't big into arena shooters, and this one I used to play, not heavily, but I would play it pretty often. I like the wide array of characters this game has, and the good thing is they cross all the characters back from the first game with only a couple added, which makes me wonder if this is really a sequel. Because the odd thing about this game, where the first game you paid $60 for it, the original, this one went to more of a free-to-play model. And I know a lot of people understand that free-to-play models come with a lot of caveats, and you know what? I agree with that. Free-to-play games should be the game first, then you implement all the monetization options later, because unfortunately that's the caveat with modern gaming. Now, don't get me wrong, Overwatch 2, which is essentially, in my opinion, it's Overwatch 1.5. It's just a better version of the first game, and at least they cross all your stuff over from the first game, which means I didn't really lose any of my outfits that I unlocked, because I actually didn't buy any of the DLCs or anything like that, or the loot boxes. You used to unlock them just by periodically playing. And I'm not a big fan of Battle Pass options either. I mean, it says I'm leveling up the Battle Pass, but I'm just content with playing it. Maybe if some of the unlocks were worth it, I could see why people invest into Battle Passes, because Battle Passes have just become the big thing when it comes to free-to-play games. Gone are just leveling up. Gone are just knowing that you earned something, that even if you earn it, it's still locked behind a paywall. And that's one thing I hate about free-to-play games. Now, don't get me wrong. Free-to-play games, there are free-to-play games that are good, and there are ones that are egregious. I don't know where to stand with Overwatch 2. Because, on the other hand, unlike day one from Overwatch 1, at least out the gate, you have a good multitude of modes to play with. And they have different tiers for beginners, professionals, casual play, or hardcore play. And you know what? Okay, that seems pretty solid. It's a pretty good way to start to get someone into it. I know a lot of people that are not fans of first-person shooters, but they always praised Overwatch. Now, the gameplay is relatively the same. Maybe it's a little bit more refined. It feels a lot tighter. It's no longer, I think the first game was 6v6, and they had to work things around for more of this 5v5 competitive play. And you know what? I'm actually more fine with 5v5, because 6v6, things got a little too convoluted, and there was just too much shit that used to go on. With 5v5, things are straightforward, things are more condensed, and if you played the first game, you pretty much know how to play this game. It's really no different. It's just it feels tighter and it feels faster. All the levels, I believe all the levels from the first game have returned, because all the levels I've played, I've only maybe played a couple, maybe one or two new levels, but every other level I recognize from the first game. I see similar people running the same characters on certain teams. I mean, personally, I always used Tracer and Soldier 76 because they were very simple and easy to get you into the game. But you still see people playing as Reaper. You see people playing as the newer character. You see people playing as Genji, Hanzo, Torbjorn. You see the Zenyatta. You kind of see the standards for Overwatch. But is this really qualified as a sequel? It's just that it feels like all they did was just take the first game, took out the monetization features of loot boxes, replaced it with a battle pass, and just made it so you can download the game. And I know this is what games are doing nowadays with free-to-plays. It's like they give you the platform for the game first, and then they fill it out with all the stuff they intend to later. I get that probably Blizzard wanted more out of the gate with this game and they needed more time, but of course Activision has to rush them out the door. So really all they did was use the first game as a platform to build up to the sequel. So really what we're playing is Overwatch 1.5. But in a twisted, how do I say this? In a twisted sense, that's a way to get people back into playing Overwatch. Because original Overwatch, I believe, was dying for a short time. And now that it went free to play with now aspects of it, sequel aspects, which will be slowly added to the game as it goes on, can bring people back and get people into playing it. Because I know a lot of people love the first Overwatch. And I see why. But for someone like me who's not a Blizzard fanboy, I jumped into this game with like, okay, I can go in, get some footage. You know, this game is actually really good if you want to get footage for YouTube videos. You know, you can stream. It is fun to play with friends. Hopefully me and Matt Kiyomo, we're probably going to get into playing this. At least I'll have somebody to play with. It does give you fun, competitive, and less... How is it? It's not Call of Duty, where Call of Duty is just built on a toxic community of toxic competition. This one is built more on actual fun competition. You don't get mad when you get killed in this game, because if you end up dying in this game, it does fall on you. You know, you have to learn how to use these characters. Every character has different abilities. Every character has different strengths, different weaknesses, can fit for different scenarios, especially for the different game modes. You know, the original game modes are here. There's some that I have not played yet that I haven't got the chance to, because the rotation of the maps or the game just takes me to the original stuff. So I really can't speak on a lot of it. But essentially, if you did play Overwatch 1 and you were a fan of Overwatch 1, you will be a fan of Overwatch 2. Now, if you're somebody who just wants to get into Overwatch, you have to go into it with the caveat knowing that it's a free-to-play title with a Battle Pass monetization system. And me, I'm not really the guy that likes to go out and collect skins. I usually find that free-to-play games, yes, maybe if you charge people fair amounts for the currency, they will drop money on it. But you need to implement ways to unlock the premium currencies in free-to-play games. You know, make it so people can attain credits. Maybe not bulk loads of credits that you would tie behind actual money, but give players, let's say if players got to a specific level, you dump 100 gold credits into their account. I'm just using gold credits as an example. I don't know the name of the currency in this game. I don't even think there is a name for the currency in this game, because usually games have different names for their currency. Like, you get platinum chips, and I believe phones, casino games. I just can't say anything highly about monetization systems or battle pass systems. I'm not a big fan of them. I wish games would just go back to the traditional ways of leveling up, because apparently I heard that somewhere developers heard that gamers find it toxic that ranking up is cancerous, seeing other people higher than them, so they want to put you on a system where everybody can rank up at the same time. I've never heard of that. That sounds like the biggest crock of shit to me, because I've killed plenty of people in video games that are higher level than me, and I've never had a problem dealing with them. I mean, yeah, you got people that are arrogant, egotistical shitbags that just use their rank to determine that they're better than you, but hey, when you unload a bunch of bullets in somebody that's a higher level than you, and it basically makes them feel like, wait, how the fuck did I lose to this guy? He's lower level. It does feel satisfying. But it is free to play, it's free to download. There's not much I really could say about it, because it just reminds me of the first game. Maybe as time goes on, I'll reassess it, but for now, this is just, it's the same way I view the first game for this review. It's Overwatch 1.5, just tighter, faster, and free to play. It's free to download. So be sure to like, subscribe, favorite, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Take care, guys.